So we are in our 19th year. We are focusing on mental health. That's our theme. And our book by the incredible Ellen Forney is Marbles, Mania, Depression, Michelangelo, and Me. And if I'm not mistaken, she's in the room right now. So everybody do some jazz hands for that. I got to meet her this week and she's wonderful. And she's going to give a talk, a free talk over Zoom. And I'm sure she'll use the mic better than I will. But she's going to give that talk on Monday, March 1st. That's at 4 p.m. So mark your calendars. We have support from the UC Davis Office of the Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and the Robert and Marguerite Mondavi Center for the Performing Arts and Downey Brand. And they're the ones who are letting us make sure that this is free for everybody. If you are interested ever in becoming involved in the Campus Book Project, our selection committee is open to the public, our planning committee is open to the public, and I'm on both those committees. Like, we take nominations for the book each year and we read through those nominations and we narrow down to the book that we think is going to both fit the topic the best and also engage the community the best. And of course, that's why Ellen's here with her fantastic book. So it's my pleasure to introduce now the Invisible Disabilities comedy show. And, since I'm on the selection committee and I'm on the planning committee, when it was time to figure out what events we were going to do on mental health, I said, I think in the very first planning meeting, I said, well, we need to get the Invisible Disabilities Comedy Club to do an event for us. And my idea was immediately accepted because we all knew that just because we're talking about mental health doesn't mean we want to be serious and depressing all the time. We want to have fun. We want to increase our mental health by laughing. And that's an important part of addressing this topic too. I knew about the Invisible Disabilities group because I had the pleasure of performing with them once, and it was an amazing opportunity. And I love all of their shows. And I will say too, that since the pandemic, they've been basically shut down. So I can say, this performance is an exclusive. This is a pandemic exclusive. Nobody else has gotten to see this show since the shutdown. And so please join me in welcoming our host, Amber. Thanks.
So you listen, you guys, I want you to know, first of all, I am a big fan of exclusivity. Anything that I can be involved in, that I can exclude people from, listen, it makes me feel great. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. But I do want to talk to you guys about our show. I don't know if you know, maybe you do, but our producers, Alieta and Drew Kimsey, created this show just over 3 years ago now in order to just give comedians a platform to talk about their invisible disabilities, things that they're experiencing, and with a group of people who might also have some of these things going on and totally understand us and want to laugh with us too. So welcome to the Invisible Disabilities Show. Exclusive. Ooh. I am Amber Lee. I do not have a lot of time, but I do have a lot of things to complain about. So we're going to jump right into it. I want to say that, first of all, #COVID is ruining my life. I don't have any reason to be late for work anymore because I'm working from home. It's rough for me. I have anxiety about work, about going to work, being at work, doing my work. So I play this little game in the morning, or pardon me, I used to, and it's called Procrastinators Challenge. Are you ready? We have 3 hours to get to work. Our commute is 5 minutes walking. What do we do to ensure that we're 10 minutes late for work? Exactly. A whole bunch of everything, a whole bunch of nothing. I don't know. But I do want to talk to you. I'm going to keep talking to you. I'm going to keep talking, watch my time. I have been in therapy for several years now, and I'm being treated for, all the usual stuff: anxiety, depression, borderline personality disorder. Also, something called TMI. I don't know if you guys know that one. But TMI, my coworkers actually, they diagnosed me with that one. But also FBL and ABL. FBL, for those of you who don't know, is fat black lady. ABL is angry black lady. I do want to let you know that they're not the same thing. There is some crossover in treatment, but overall, the angry black lady is very situational. It's usually from outside that I experience these feelings. But I've been very good at keeping them in check by running away and crying in the bathroom. So, but I did get into therapy. I had to quit my original therapist because, you guys, I couldn't trust her. She wore sandals in the rain. And I was just like, ma'am, if you don't care about your feet, you obviously don't care about what's going on with me and my mental health. So I left her. And I'm now seeing a new therapist. He's black. You guys, he wears Timberland boots in the rain like a decent human being. And he gets me as a person, as an individual. I've been really trying to be treated for recovering white supremacy and also post-traumatic slave disorder. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but it's post-traumatic slave disorder is inherited. I inherited it from my parents, who inherited it from their parents, who in turn inherited from their grandparents, who got it from actual slavery. So it causes a lot of stress in my life. I'm very nervous about where I go. When I encounter white people, I'm concerned, is this the good kind of white person? Is this the bad kind of white person? Do I need to be cautious? I've seen there's a lot of strange thing going on with fashions. Is this woman wearing this Iron Cross belt buckle? Is she just like poorly dressed? Or is she totally into racism?
That's good.
Exactly. So, I also want to let you guys know I've been doing my research, and 10 out of 10 logos that I don't recognize are related to white supremacy, just so you know. But, that I want to move away from that a little bit because in case you couldn't tell by the way my hair looks, I have a white husband. So I am regularly surrounded by white people. Luckily, these are the good kind of white people. And my husband, in our first DNA tests, I came back with 3% Irish, and he came back with 1.6% Irish. So I told him that he could no longer appropriate any of St. Patrick's Day. That's my shit now. Mine. But but my DNA actually has been changing, I guess. I wonder, someone told me that every man that a woman has intercourse with, she takes on some of their DNA, and I think maybe that's what explained the Irish. No. Okay. So you guys, thank you, Allie. Allie gets me.
I got the wink.
Am I getting, I'm in my time? So you guys, I want to tell you, I'm sorry. It's cat hair.
Oh no.
I've been spending a lot of time at home binging, not just binge watching TV, but also binge eating. I told you I have FBL and I'm really into it. I have been working really hard for the last 40 something years to like achieve this status as an official FBL. And like I said, we're binge eating. I'm really into it. I see people walking on the street and I'm like, ooh, is that a burger? Where'd you get that from? I'm catcalling people's food, you guys. That pizza looks good. Can you fold it for me, mommy? Ooh, it looks spicy. And I'm really talking about the food. But I am always excited. There's an item that I have been working on. Actually, I've been working on it for the last 40 years. I am really good at finding racism. Like, I can spot it anywhere. So I like to do this thing. It's a test. I go around to people's cubicles to see what toys they have in their cubicle. And if you have every character from your favorite sci-fi show, a few tertiary vehicles, a bad guy, and an animal, but you do not have the one black character, you're a racist. I'm sorry. I love you guys, and I want you to be good white people. That's what I'm telling you. I want to say thank you, everyone, for having me here tonight. This is an interesting way that we are performing. Like I said, Allie and Drew, our producers, will not be performing tonight, but they are here with us.
Yay!
And I want to introduce our first next comedian, one of my favorite Davids, David Coleman, everybody.
Hi, David.
Hey, thank you.
Yay!
It is so great to hear all of your voices. I love the invisible disability people. This is my family. This is great. Like she said, I'm a David. I have ADD, ADHD when I'm feeling frisky. I'm I have 5 minutes of material tonight, which is great because they gave me 7 minutes. So, so since you're college students, here's some history. So ADD was discovered over a century ago. It was discovered. Well, you know what I mean by discovered. And then they figured out it had neurological links, and then they figured out how to treat it. And the doctor who did that named it deficient moral conduct. And like a couple decades later, another doctor said that's not accurate, so they changed it to minor brain injury. So there's no stigma around ADD whatsoever. They just called it rotten little shit syndrome, and then changed it to fucked in the headitis. And the thing is with the disabilities, you're in school as a student, you're supposed to be able to get accommodations. But yeah, any rights we have in this country, we have to fight for them. And if you don't fight for them, you don't get them. So like blind people fought to get Braille and audio textbooks in schools, and people who use wheelchairs fought to get ramps in schools, and people with ADD, I don't know how to say this. Historically, as a group, we have difficulty organizing. So I have difficulty paying attention. I don't like sitting still. It's a challenge, and I can fix it at any time. I just have to start taking medication, but I have to be careful with that medication because Ritalin would be the drug I would take. And it is both physically and psychologically addictive. so psychologically addictive means fucking awesome. I need to be clear. I'm not advocating using drugs that are not prescribed to you. What works for me likely will not work the same way for you. Please be careful with these substances. I wish that Ritalin was a person so that I could have sex with it. It is an incredible drug. It cures all the problems in my life. It makes me productive and it makes me enjoy productivity. It cures procrastination and all kinds of other things. It is perfect. And because it makes me like to work, I don't know if you knew this, people pay you to work. So it's a drug that causes more money to appear in my bank account. Great. And the biggest side effect they tell you is loss of appetite. So you're thin while you're succeeding. And unfortunately, it's the other big side effect. That's the reason I can't take it, which is antisocial behavior. Is what it says on the side. That exhibits for me as violent irritation. If I'm on Ritalin and you come up to me and you're not immediately helping me complete a task, I want to kill you. It's the next task that I want to complete so that Ritalin gives me serotonin. And that doesn't work because I am married. And I love my wife very, very much when I'm not taking Ritalin. And I need to be nicer. She has her own invisible disability. She has anxiety. So I have to be kind to her. And she's great. She is a teacher. She teaches kindergarten and first grade for students with autism, which means that that's a weird job choice for somebody with anxiety. That means she spends a decent amount of time talking to people who are unresponsive no matter how she tries to communicate with them, who fixate on details, and it's always the wrong details that don't move the classroom forward, and are sometimes just randomly get angry about things outside of her control. And all these people expect her to teach their children. I tried teaching. I could not do it. I have a lot of respect for her because I was in a teaching credential program. I didn't finish it. I got distracted. I was teaching 7th grade social studies. And I tried taking Ritalin once while doing this. I only took once before I didn't try it again because middle schoolers, not helpful people. I took the Ritalin, and Ritalin like programs your brain with like Google Maps. Like you get these things in your head to tell you the effective way to do things. And so I take this drug and I'm seeing my classroom for the first time. Like the fog lifts and I just directly in front of me are 2 students holding a conversation as close to me as they can get, just very disrespectfully holding a conversation. Off to my left, there's a student listening to music. He is not using headphones. And in the back of the classroom is another kid who, I can't make this up, he's practicing quacking like a duck. And Google Maps in the back of my head says, in order for this class to be completed in the 45 minutes allotted, at least 2 students must die. It all worked out. I did find a job where I don't have to take medication. It helps. I'm a nature guide. My job is to interrupt people and point out birds. I was doing that for free anyway. I don't know what bird it is sometimes, but I still point it out. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you, everybody in the audience. Enjoy all these comics. They're great.
Here we go, David.
David. Beautiful. Oh, am I muted? I'm really bad at being muted. In a couple of minutes, my cats are going to join us, okay? In the meantime, we're going to get together and we're going to give a big hand to one of the prettiest ladies in comedy who hosts a show just after this one called Prompt Night. Everybody give it up for Jeanette Marin. Marine.
Marin. Yes, you had it right. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for everyone for coming. Let's all celebrate that. I am here on day, 348 in lockdown with my children, ages 11, 10, 7, and 5. Oh, celebrate you're not me, huh? Yeah. They tell you when you have kids, celebrate the little things. They don't tell you it's because you get no more big things. Okay. Start enjoying the details of life. I celebrate all little things like I put on pants today. I celebrate I no longer fear DUI. Huh? Yeah. They tell you celebrate, and then they get mad at you for being day drunk. Shut up. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm celebrating my accomplishments throughout the day. My kids really, I really do have 4 of them. That's them.
Aww.
Oh, it's not a recent photo. That's just the last time they all got along. It was an accident. I mean, we could have named our kids, oops, uh-oh, what the fuck, and are you kidding me? Because I believed in birth control. Birth control stopped believing in me. Lately through the pandemic, I've just been calling them savage, classy, bougie, ratchet. I walk in the room saying, acting stupid, what's happening? I am going crazy in quarantine. Yeah. I know I'm going crazy. I know I'm not doing well because my targeted ads have changed. It's all this now. Would you like some booze directly to your door? All of it is just, this was all just one day in Facebook and Instagram. What I'm saying is they get me, okay? Yes, I do want these things delivered directly to my door. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want a barrel of whiskey? Come on. They're not even like creative anymore. They're just like, do you need alcohol? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's better than what my targeted ads used to be, which was a lot of like, don't yell at your kids. Stop making this child your child. Who wants that kid? Not me. No, my kids are fine and loved. I have to legally say that once a show. I do. There's been complaints. They're fine. A lot of people in this pandemic are like, oh, I miss people. I don't have that problem. I made too many people. Let's see. I am doing okay because I removed all the clocks and calendars. I told them I control time now. Okay. Now, I feel you, Amber, with getting to work on time. Now my kids have to be at school on time and I have to clean my living room. Shut up. Okay. Pick one. All right. Like my 5th grader, we found out that 5th grade, you have to teach them human anatomy and development. The teachers sent home a packet and said, you parents have to do it. I'll be honest, I learned a lot from the packet. Okay. But the kids in 7 years, when they're graduating high school, a lot of them gonna be pregnant. Okay. Because either their parents aren't teaching them or they're teaching them too much, saying stuff like, my son's gonna know how to please a woman. Some guys don't need to know that. Let them learn like a Jedi. You might be wondering what my disability is. No, it's not alcoholism. No, I mean, it's funny. I actually joined Aliata in this group with the cancer diagnosis that I have, but I don't have time to get into cancer. I have 7 minutes. All right. So, but really, whenever I talk about cancer, I just talk about how doctors are stupid, and we can keep that theme going. I went to a doctor the other day and they were like, are you under any stress? I laughed for 4 minutes straight. And he was like, no, I need you to actually answer the question. Oh, stress. Yeah, we're all a little mentally ill right now, right? I'm at the point of my quarantine where I'm jealous of my dreams. Anyone else? I just wake up going, oh, damn it. I think we could shape society in this. You know how we did a run on like flour and everybody made one banana bread and that was it? Okay, let's think about this, all right? Let's make a run on deodorant. We can change the BART system, okay? let's buy up all the shampoo and conditioner. We can stop white lady dreadlocks right here. My kids are fine and loved. I did say that, right? I am mostly surviving because a friend of mine taught me about gummy melatonins. Yeah. Oh, little melatonin gummies that you give to your children so they go to sleep. Best part, it has vegetables. My kids are getting their daily allotment of vegetables before noon every day. I might have had a few of those today myself. It's fine. Time is pointless. The thing that pisses me off is when I see people, just in general now. I have how people have resting bitch face. Turns out I have never resting face. Someone saw me at the store. They didn't even say hello. They said, "You look tired." I'm like, I have sunglasses and a mask on. Do my ears look tired? Shut up. People piss me off. My favorite thing, the thing that pisses me off the most is when someone goes, "I don't know how you're doing it." I'm not doing it. None of us are doing it. In this entire pandemic, just assume it's not getting done. Okay. I have a 5-year-old who thinks there's such a thing as daytime jammies. I found out my 9-year-old, she doesn't know our address. Okay. She knows every word to every Taylor Swift song, but if she gets lost, she belongs to the world now. Let's see. I think I've covered pretty much all of my mental illness. I'm not surviving the pandemic as much as I'm surviving a hostage situation. I'm never allowed to leave. I have caused psychological damage to my children, mostly with the human anatomy and development stuff. That's tricky. Listen, it's easier for teachers because they can teach you about putting a condom on a banana and then they don't have to serve up that banana with lunch and some peanut butter. Okay. I remember to take the condom off. It's fine. Fine. No, I have learned a trick. It's really easy. If you have kids at home, put them all in the car. They get really excited, and then you just stop short and knock the wind out of them. Huh? Yeah, it's good because after the gasp, there's that second of silence. Oh God, celebrate the little things, people. All right, that's all the time I get. I gotta go. All right, thank you.
Woo! Jeanette Marin, everybody. Jeanette Marin. Don't forget to follow her on the internet, wherever
Not in
the internet is. But I do want you to remember, every Thursday, prompt night with Jeanette Marin. Our next performer, is a Bay Area favorite. Super cool, pretty adorable, hella funny. Everybody, give it up for Big Sed, the newlywed.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on this show. This is one of my favorite shows to do because it talks about shit I can't talk about to people on a regular basis, and that's awesome. Like, I can't go up to people and say, "Hey, you know what? My pee stinks sometimes." Like, I can't go up to a regular dude and do that shit. Like, that's just not gonna work. Like I can't come up to somebody and say, "You know what? My gout's flared up, man. Help me." Like, I can't do that. But here, I can do that. I can say that shit. My gout's flared up. I'm struggling. No. Actually, my gout is great. Knock on wood. Ever since I left my parents' house, I've not had gout. So I think my parents are gout. That's what I think. I think my parents are gout. I think every scold my mom gives me is just one tinge in the knee that I get. I just don't know. I just did that shit. It would hurt. But I am Sedric Drake. I'm not your ordinary black man. I'm not. I like to wear Crocs, most definitely. I like to drink kombucha. I think that's delicious. And I like to eat gluten-free cookies, guys. I think those are really delicious. I love gluten-free cookies. I think they're amazing. But I will say this one thing that happens when I'm depressed. I get really depressed. And one thing I really need when I'm depressed, I need a dog to lick me all over my face. I need that dog to just lick me and just take its tongue and just caress my face. Because that makes me feel good about myself. Like that dog right there, Allie, I'm sorry. I would put my head into this screen and just have him just lick my face. I could feel better about myself. I mean, goodness, I just want to feel good. You know, and let me give you some scenarios. Your friend can leave, your friend can stop talking to you, you know, your girlfriend can leave you, your grandmother could be in the hospital, and you go home, and that dog doesn't know you've had the worst day of your life, and you put your head down, and that dog licks on your face, and you turn into an evangelical preacher. You're like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. For my face. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. I'm stupid, guys. That's okay. That's okay. I'm telling you how I feel when a dog licks me on the face. You know, it's an exhilarating feeling, man. So just want you to know, if you've never had it, try it. Don't look at me like it's gross. Just close your eyes and let him go to work. I'm telling you, you're going to feel better afterwards. I will tell you this. We all know this is redundant. 2020 sucked. You know, I'll be honest with you. I got engaged to my wife, now wife, in 2020. That was actually kind of an awesome thing. But I also got married in 2020. And that shit was depressing. That was, my depression was on tilt. It was on absolute tilt, guys. I was going down. The only saving, you know what was amazing for my depression? This might sound really funny, was because I sat in my room and smoked weed and watched Netflix all day. And that was the only respite I had, because when I went out in the world, I had to deal with wedding shit, and that was depressing. COVID. Like, I'll tell you how depressing it was. Our wedding was supposed to be in fucking Hawaii. She went, Well, you know, it is what it like it sucked. And then we're okay, maybe we do it at a banquet hall. And that was too bad. So then we just ended up having 35 people at my wife's parents' house. And it was I'm not saying it was bad, it was lovely, but you know what? It's not better than Hawaii, barefoot in Hawaii with a suit on. So that's better for me. I want to be able to bask in the sunlight. With my bride. But you know, it didn't happen that way. But you know, we just I'll be honest, we're both just depressed because we like going out and going and traveling and get our coffee and go to our favorite cafe and go in the cafe and talk for hours. And we did that. We went to our favorite cafe and we just got a cup of coffee and went back home. Man, it was just it was depressing. It was like, shit, we got their beans at home. We could have just done this at home and watch Tiger King. It would have been a lot better that way. Shit. One thing I will say before I go, sorry, I had a frog in my throat. I mentioned that that my pee stings sometimes, and I have urinary tract issues. And I will tell you this, I'm going to tell you how to describe this to you, then I'm going to go. It feels like there is a monster crawling up your urethra, trying to crawl up and wreck your havoc through your fucking day. Like, you piss and it's like, that's what it feels like. It feels like there's some force just climbing up my penis with claws. claw. And nobody can see my agony. Ladies and gentlemen, the only person that understands here is Miss Aliata, how I feel. And I just want to let everybody know that we hurt sometimes. You just need to pat us on the back and give us a hug. If we come out the bathroom hunched in a fetal position, just hold us. Please. Caress us. Because all we want is love and devotion at that time. And maybe a cold bath. And that's my time, guys. I'm Sedric Drake. Thank you very much.
You guys, that is big said because he said so. Find him also on the internet. You guys know how internet works. www. I'm going to keep moving because we're going to keep this show right on time. Ooh, our next performer is one of my favorite people and is super adorable and really also a terrible person. Let's give it up for one of the producers of telenovela, Miss Emily Peterson.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Amber. Now they all know and they see it coming. Great. I'm so happy to be here, guys. Thank you for pulling me away from online shopping. I have spent all my money. It's super great having you guys in my house. I haven't done a lot of these Zoom shows yet, so this is a wonderful experience for me. I'm super psyched to be here. I'm part of the Invisible Disabilities family because I struggle with bipolar disorder, anxiety, and ADHD. So that keeps me busy. I always have a lot going on. I also work and I go to school, so it's like, oh, what's she up to now? And during the pandemic, a lot of people have been checking in on me because they know that I have like my depressive episodes and everything. And I get a lot of, hey, how are you doing? Or how are you hanging in there okay? And you know, like the only thing you can really do is lie. I'll go like, yeah, I'm okay, or you know, I'm doing pretty well considering. Because you know, you don't want people to know the truth. You don't want them to know that you're like thriving. Nobody wants to be that guy who's at their best during a pandemic. It's like, yeah, like a bunch of people have died, but my mood is terrific. That's weird, right? I feel like that's weird. Yeah, it's a little weird. But you know, I've had a lot more time to like sort of sit and reflect about like my challenges and what I've been going through. And I've noticed some like sort of interesting things. Like I feel like complete strangers ask me if I'm suicidal or homicidal. I feel like they ask me that a lot more than the average person. Which like it's like thanks for asking, I guess. And usually the answer is no, right? Well, the answer is always no because like it's like I'm not going to tell you. But have you guys ever written a suicide note so good that you're like, wow, now I have to do it? Only me? That's only a me thing? Okay. Wow. I am like killing it on being relatable. So this summer was wild, right? A lot of racist stuff going on out there. I'm not one of those white people who was like surprised about racist white people, but damn, they got loud, right? They got really loud. That's different, right? How loud they are, and like they're all friends apparently. That's weird. I'm hella sick of them, right? I just want all of the racists to just go wherever guys go after they sleep with me so that I'll never have to hear from them again. So wherever that is, let's send them there. I guarantee we won't hear a peep out of them. Yeah. I have bad taste in men. Actually, I've been thinking about it a lot. They have been not great. A lot of jerks, a lot of emotionally unavailable, a lot of people who are funny but in a mean way. That's kind of been my like fetish, I guess. So I'm really glad that my new antipsychotic I'm on has made me fat and killed my sex drive. Because like on one hand, it's like, oh no, I'm fat. Like that's like my clothes don't fit. I have to buy new clothes. That's expensive. And on the other, it's kind of proven a long-standing hypothesis I've been working on that my attraction to men was a symptom of my psychosis. So that's good. That's very validating and affirming. But you know, even though I don't have a sex drive anymore, I still masturbate because it's like my only source of exercise. But you know, sometimes I get lazy and I use my plug-in vibrator, and I feel like I'm making love to my house, which is like, is that a me thing too? That's a me thing too. I am so unrelatable. Why do I do comedy? But the lack of libido, kind of, it's been making me have to resort to weirder and weirder like pornography to get me there, you know? And I've been like traumatizing myself a little bit. And it's kind of been instilling me with like a lot of unhealthy ideas about sex in the world. Like for instance, now I know for sure that when aliens invade, they're definitely gonna want to have sex with us. That's just something I know. That's just something I know for sure. And really the only thing that gets me there anymore, it's not even porn, it's not even sex related. I get off to like concepts, you know, like the idea of achieving all of my goals, yeah. Or like the dream of home ownership. Like that gets me there. I am telling you, as a millennial, like I have like a pretty hot, like putting an offer on a house fantasy. It's real steamy. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna leave you with this. Like in quarantine, I've had a lot more time to work on my self-esteem. That's kind of been my goal. Because sometimes I feel the need to apologize for my mere existence. And then other times I feel like people should get tattoos of me. I think that comes with being bipolar, but I'm kind of trying to even it out a little bit. And I think I've hacked it. Like, sure, my career isn't where I want it to be. Sure, I'm not pursuing all my creative endeavors like I want. Sure, I drop out of college about as often as I floss. But the trick to outstanding self-esteem is to lower your expectations. And I'm not talking about like just being happy for getting out of bed in the morning. I'm talking about be proud of yourself for stuff you don't do. Like, I didn't kill anybody today. I mean, I don't want to be braggadocious, but that's pretty awesome. And thank you guys. You've been so much fun. I'm going to give it back to Amber. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Emily. Gotta love that girl. Hilarious. Really great tonight. I love you. And now, our next performer, also a producer and co-host of the wonderful live show telenovela. Everybody give it up for excuse me, I'm so sorry, cat hair, Jessie Rivera.
What's going on, everybody? How the hell are you? It is so good to see people and to hear laughter that's not just coming from inside my head, right? Because there's a lot of that laughter. Sometimes I'm actually listening to Pink Floyd and it's coming from that one Pink Floyd track, but a lot of times the laughter is just coming from my head, and it's so good to come from the computer and real people. My name's Jesse Rivera. I'm Emily Peterson's roommate, and I don't think she knows this, but I know when she plugs in the vibrator because all the lights in the house dim. But it's kind of cool because we're like on the same masturbation cycle. So when I want to get loud and she plugs in that one and the lights dim, I know that I can go for it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's not what you guys came here to hear about, to listen about. We can talk about my masturbation some other time. Tonight, I just want to say that my name is Jesse Rivera. I suffer from depression, anxiety, and I sometimes tend to overeat, which causes me to be depressed and have anxiety. And then ultimately, after 10, 15 years of that, I was like diagnosed with like not only obesity, but morbid obesity. And I'm like, you know, you don't even have to say morbid obesity, doc. Like, just obesity is bad enough, right? So after I got another doctor and she said the same thing, I was like, all right, maybe it's me, you know? So a couple of years ago, I thought, well, let me do something about this. And I was thinking about having the bariatric surgery, right? The bariatric surgery or the sleeve. I wasn't quite sure which one I wanted to do, but shockingly, I was approved for it. I was like, wow, I've never been approved for anything. So I was like, all right, let me go to the orientation, right? So guys, I went to the orientation and I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect, but mostly I was scared. I was terrified because there was 6 of us in that elevator going up to the 2nd floor. And it said maximum capacity 1,500 pounds. And I'm not great at math, but I knew that we were pushing it. But I also thought, you know, some of these younger kids could probably take the stairs. So we got there, and have you ever been in a room that's so quiet? Like you could hear the lights buzzing, right? And like the room is that quiet. Well, this room was super quiet, except in this room, the lights buzzing wasn't what you could hear. In this room, all you could hear was and like heavy breathing, right? Like you could hear the like nobody was moving, but you could hear all the chairs struggling for dear life. Like, get this person off of me, you know? And so I went and they gave me like the pamphlet, and I read the pamphlet, and like the pamphlet had like all this great like diet and exercise advice. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't want to do the bariatric surgery. I want to try to do this on my own, right? So like I stopped eating a bunch of sugar. I stopped eating a bunch of junk. I started getting a little bit more active. And guys, like on my own, I lost 50 pounds, right? I lost 50 pounds. And like I found my stride, right? I found my confidence, right? I found my dick, you guys. And it was everything was going great. And it was about to be the summer of Jess, right? It was about to be my summer. I was gonna go out and be the biggest hoe we had ever seen. And then fucking COVID hits, right? And guys, when COVID hit and like everything shut down, like I'm a super extrovert. Like I need to be out and around people. And when I got forced to like only be inside, man, I thought I had depression and anxiety before that. As soon as March hit, and we remember like the shutdown started like March 15th, right around there. I had my first full-blown panic attack like March 30th. Like it was bad. Like I called 911 because I was positive I was having a heart attack. By the time I got off the phone with the operator, I was convinced I was having a stroke. by the time the paramedics got here, WebMD had convinced me, no, it was an aneurysm, right? Turns out it was a panic attack. And like the paramedic walked in and they took all my stuff, and the doctor was like, the paramedic was like, any chance you smoked a joint today, Jesse? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, all right, why don't you try smoking too? All right. You're not having a heart attack, you're not having a seizure, you're not having an aneurysm, you're having a panic attack. You're just stressed out, right? Well, I mean, the stress continued. Like I would get really depressed. I would go up and I would come down. By the time May came, I had gone full Britney Spears, shaved my head, stopped calling my mom, stopped communicating with my relatives, and it was bad. But then, like, remember when I don't know how many of you are from Sacramento, but like when the protesters were at the Capitol and people were out there screaming, like, please let me go to a restaurant. Like, I lost it, and I grabbed my laundry and I went home. And I don't know if you guys know this, but to me, home, like I grew up in Bakersfield, right? Has anybody here ever heard of Bakersfield? Google meth. It's the first thing that comes up when you Google meth. It's the first thing that comes up, either that or Buck Owens. But I might be the first person in the history of the United States who ever went to Bakersfield to cheer up. I went home, but this time Bakersfield wasn't so bad because I had to stay indoors, right? I had to stay indoors. Like I was just with like my mom and my brother and my niece, and it was cool. Like I got my head back together again. Like my hair grew back. You know, I was feeling okay, and I came back. I came back to Sacramento, and I realized, wow, this isn't so bad, because like it was May and we're like, okay, by 4th of July everything's gonna be fine. You know, oh wait, oh okay, you know, by Labor Day everything's gonna be fine. You know, and then I realized, hey, I think I'm doing so good because I don't have to go to my family's house for get-togethers every 2 or 3 months, you know? And after a while, like we got together with like all my other brothers and sisters, and we're like, hey, are you guys like me and like hoping that this lasts through Christmas? Because if I can make it through Christmas without seeing all of y'all, like I think I'll be fine. And we have now, we've convinced my mom that there is not a vaccine yet for COVID, and that this is probably gonna go 2 or 3 more years. But we did get her vaccine, so my mom is vaccinated. We told her that it was a regular shot that she gets every couple of years, and so she's none the wiser. You know, I just realized that we got to get through this all together, and I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to thank Allie and Drew and Amber for putting this show on together, and all these wonderful students and faculty and staff and friends of UC Davis. Thanks for coming out tonight. My name is Jesse Rivera. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Jesse Rivera. Listen, we're going to keep it moving because this is really important. Our next performer is also a producer in the Bay Area, one of the loveliest people, always looks amazing. Let's give it up, Coral Best.
Woo!
You're muted.
You're muted.
I was.
Yay!
Checking in. Okay, I'm so excited to be here, you guys. All of you that have joined us, thank you for joining our Invisible Disabilities family. These comedians and producers are really close to my heart, so thank you so much for being with us today. My name is Coral Best. You guys heard that right. My first name is Coral. I was named after the reef. My parents thought that would be a sweet name for their baby girl, but in high school, kids in high school didn't hesitate to let me know that the majority of my name is oral. Yeah, I got teased a lot for that. People started calling me Oral Coral. Plus my full name without the C, you guys. Oral Best. That's just a lot of promises that I'm not trying to keep. That's all that is. You guys, I'm quarantining with my parents, and we're Jewish. We're like so Jewish. My dad's name is Moses. And even though he didn't part the Red Sea, he did part from my mom 20 years ago. But we're all quarantining together because honestly, living with family is really near and dear to my budget right now. So that's what's happening there. Before everybody just assumes that because I'm Jewish, I'm doing financially well. I am a poor Jew. I know that some of you think that we don't exist. We do exist. We're just underrepresented. Okay, that's right. Like, I know that Jews are supposedly owning the media. I'm trying to own my Nissan. Very different. Like, if I ever get my own show, I'm going to call it Comedians Who Can't Afford Cars Getting Water. That's what I'm going to do. And my family and I, you guys, we're not that religious. Like, the only services we ever attended all together as a family were social services. That's it. That's it. But no, my invisible disability is not that I'm a poor Jew, although arguable. The most Jewish thing about me, actually, you guys, is that I have irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah. And I hear it from other people too. All the Jews tell me they're either constipated or they have the runs. I'll say it one more time for you guys. Can you just let my people go? That's a fun one. No, but seriously, you guys, when I was like 15 years old or so, I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which is an autoimmune disease, which pretty much means that your stomach is all messed up. And I got really, really sick and lost about 40 pounds in 20 days. And I would run into people, you know, on the street that I knew, and they would be like, Coral, you look so fantastic. Girl, how are you losing the weight? You look so good. And I would tell them, actually, I'm really sick. The doctors say that I might have to get part of my colon out if I don't get better and respond to the medication. And my friends were like, get your colon out? I'll ask my doctor about that because you look so good. That was a really interesting time to be dying, but also have so many guys slide into my DMs. You know what I mean? Guys don't care if you're on your last breath. They're like, I'm pretty sure I can still fit my dick in there. There's nothing a guy can't cure with his antibiotic dick. Am I right? So you guys, what ended up happening is I actually did get the surgery. And what that meant is that I no longer poop out of my butt anymore. That's right, you guys. I can confidently look at all of your faces and say that I have the cleanest butthole in this Zoom room. And that's a good feeling. I have to say, like, rap songs are always talking about fat butts. What about clean butts? All right, just as important. I like clean butts and I cannot lie. You know? Where's that song at? But as much fun as that is, you guys, it also means that I left the hospital with something that I like to call a gift bag from hell. I got an ostomy bag. For those of you who don't know what an ostomy bag is, it's when they reroute your butthole to a small hole on your tummy and you wear a bag over that and that collects your stool. I know, you guys, tough sell on Tinder. Tell me about it. You know, I can't write loves hiking, good food, and has a poop bag. So usually I won't tell the guys I'm dating that I have one until at least the first date. But you know what I found out from dating with an ostomy bag is that, yes, some guys care about it, but most guys don't give a bag of shit. So, that's been really nice for me. And again, if you guys are curious about my condition and you want to look it up, again, it's called a front butt. Yes, front butt. And let me know if you need the spelling. You can put that in the chat. You guys, the thing about the bag being, I'm not too embarrassed about it. Like, I bring up this ostomy bag in every show. I'm especially excited to be on the Invisible Disability show with it. But one thing that does happen is the bag crinkles under my shirt, and which is totally fine, except my dog always thinks that I have treats for her. She runs up to me and I'm like, oh no, sweetheart, you don't want the contents of this bag. This bag is full of Scooby Dookies. Okay. We're not doing that.
Ew.
We are not doing that. I will share something kind of personal with you guys. That's kind of recent news. I found out recently that the part of my colon that they left after the surgery is actually at really high risk for cancer. So I'm having a surgery in about a month to get the rest of it removed, which includes my butthole. Yes, I'm going to have no butthole, which is, you know, actually something to be celebrated because you guys, one less asshole in comedy. I mean,
Oh, that's good.
right?
Nice.
Right? We need that. Plus, any chaps I put on now are assless chaps. I realize. My surgery is kind of a big deal, but it's really nice to bring it up to you and to be able to talk about it. And honestly, these past couple of years in comedy, I can truly say I've literally laughed my ass off. So thank you for letting me laugh it off with you. This has been an incredible show. I'm psyched to be here. My name is Coral Best, and I have a poop bag.
Yay.
Oh, love Coral. Wonderful. Glad to have you here. You guys, listen, we're at the end of our show because coming up next is our headliner. Everyone clap for that part. Pretend like yeah, okay, yeah, good. Yeah, that was great. That was great, right? Okay, no. We're here for our headliner, who has been an inspiration to me. She dresses like the baddest bitch. She walks like I will kill you if you. But you guys, most of all, I want you to know she is the best-selling author of a book that's in my Kindle right now. Everybody, give it up for Nina G.
Hello. Hi, Nancy. Davis. It's great to be here. It's wonderful to be back with the Invisible Disability Show. I've missed everybody who I've worked with, and it's great to be here. I am the Bay Area's only female stuttering stand-up comic. You can applaud for that. And the cool thing about Zoom, about doing comedy on Zoom is, okay, so first of all, for all of the disability studies majors out there, you know that there is a hierarchy in the world of disability where people who have more non-apparent disabilities, more invisible things, they're at the bottom, and people who have more apparent ones are on top. I know my friend who uses a wheelchair there is gonna fight with me and argue, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, guess what? On Zoom, who's the head of the hierarchy now? Me. I'm the stutterer. That's right. And it's mostly, it just manifests in people thinking that their internet's broke. That's how I talk. So I'm part of a comedy troupe called the Comedians with Disabilities Act. So it started off with me, a guy who used a wheelchair, another guy who's blind, another guy who's a little person, and people would come up to me all the time and they'd say, you know, Nina, so stuttering and dyslexia, because I also have that, those aren't real disabilities. You shouldn't be in that comedy troupe. And I tell them, if you look at the definition of what a disability is, according to the Americans with Disabilities Act, it's a physical or mental impairment that substantially results in having to deal with assholes. Pretty sure it qualifies. Pretty sure. And I'd love for you all to check out my YouTube channel, not necessarily for the content, but for the comments. The YouTube comments of a female comedian who stutters. Oh my God, the things on there. Stuff like, you should really try read for that speech problem of yours. Yeah, because this would go much better if I were more paranoid. Okay. And thirsty. Thirsty would be the other thing. Most of the comments there, though, are I want to see your boobs. Mostly that. But recently, I saw a video of me doing stand-up comedy, and he wrote, "This is the bravest thing I have ever seen." That's right. The bravest thing this guy has ever seen is me doing stand-up comedy. And I just want to say, in your face, COVID health professionals. In your face. The people who put their lives on the line to save others, no, it's me, stuttering dick joke teller. Brave, everybody. That's who's brave. And there's this thing that was happening a lot before the pandemic when I performed in clubs. And ladies, I'm sorry, but women, it is us. I would be doing my act, and women would look at their friends, and to show empathy with me, they would look at their friends in the middle of my act and do, oh, like this pity moan thing. They would pity moan me in the middle of my act, which, like, I love sympathy, just like all of you. I don't know why it has to be in the middle of my fucking act. Like, why is that the time that I get it? Why when I'm on stage? Because it's not like when I go to Starbucks and I order a latte and I say my name and the barista asks, is that Nina with 5 N's? Where's my pity moan, just like that. Then the other thing that happens when I'm performing, people think that I'm faking it, like it's for the comedic effect. And I just want to be very, very clear. I have a rule that I don't fake my stuttering, and I don't fake my orgasms, no matter how long either one of those two things take. Yes, because stuttering and orgasms have a lot in common. Because if the other person would just shut up and stop interrupting me, I'd finish a lot faster. Communication and sex work, just by the way, the two. So to change the topic a bit, I wanted to talk about my grandma. My grandma, when she was when I was growing up, was she was addicted to pain killers like Vicodin and Valium and stuff like that. Going on vacation with her was like going to Disneyland with Hunter S. Thompson. Okay, it was like that. It was like that. So some of you can laugh extra hard at that to show everyone how smart you are, or that you're major. Either one. I call that the Berkeley laugh, by the way. I'm the first one in my family to ever finish college. First one. I went on for my doctorate. I thought that my grandma, that she'd be so proud of me. First generation college with dyslexia and stuttering. And I called her up and I said, Grandma, I'm a doctor. And you know what she said the first thing? Can you prescribe? That's what she asked me, can you prescribe? I was like, no, Grandma, I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm the kind of doctor who's $100,000 in debt and makes $13 an hour. Because social justice through dick jokes doesn't pay. Don't get a master's. Not. And you know, sometimes I tell that joke in Montana because they let me, and I have to say that I make $8 an hour. Yeah, because in Montana they're like, oh, I could buy a house with the $13 an hour, and I'm like, screw you, Montana, screw you. I'm clutching onto my brain control in Oakland. So I wanted to share an experience that I had at the doctor before the pandemic. I was at the doctor, and it was my gynecologist, and she's checking me out. My legs are, akimbo, and she's there checking me out, and she gives me this information. You have a rather long vagina. That's what she told me. And when she said it, I knew it was true because her voice softly echoed. That's right. It was like, ba, 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 ja, 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 it was beautiful. It was like a prayer to the goddess mother Gaia. Okay, it was lovely. And like, I want to be very clear here. Not a big vagina, a long vagina. Okay, a long vagina. Long. There is a difference there. It's not like a 6-lane bus terminal. Okay, no, it's like a tunnel that winds through a Swiss Alp. Because the European cars are very small. That winds through a Swiss Alp and then empties into an Italian villa. Okay, it's that kind of long vagina. Now, the mysterious thing about the female body is that I am 47 years old. And I didn't know that I had this. I mean, it's incredible. I'm 47 years old and I'm finding brand new things to be insecure about. That is the joy of the female body. Anyway, when I got this information, I called my mom and I said, Mom, the doctor said that I have a long vagina. My mom says, first thing, I wonder who you got that from. That's right. My mom's trying to blame my long vagina on my dad. Apparently, hers is a very petite one. Now, I have to go in just a minute, but I'm asked a lot of very awkward questions about my speech. And one of the things that I'm oftentimes asked, and this is by men, is what is the impact of stuttering on oral sex? Take that in for a second about it. No, because men think there's like an extra, like an extra vibration. And I don't know about some of you, but it's really hard to stutter with that in your mouth. That's for my time, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on.
Woo! Best-selling author Nina G. Follow her also all over the internet. I'm going to hand over the mic to Karma. Thanks for having us. Invisible Disabilities family, we are all family. Don't forget, come find us online. Love you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. I am going to make just a couple of announcements about our upcoming event and where you can follow Invisible Disabilities. We've got the slide up. So there you can see where you can find upcoming events on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Everybody get vaccinated so we can get back to seeing them as soon as possible. And then for those of you who've seen some comedy, you feel really great now, and you're thinking, Karma, I don't want to have to go even another 48 hours without comedy. In just under 48 hours, the UC Davis Stand-Up Club is doing a free show. And so we're going to put the link up there in the chat for you. 8 p.m. Saturday night. Come see the students. I'm going to perform with them. We always have a great time. And I think tonight proved we all need more comedy in our lives. But definitely make sure that you follow Invisible Disabilities. And then on Monday, we have Ellen Forney's talk. She's going to be giving a presentation and then doing a live Q&A. That's at 4 p.m. You can register at the link there. It's free. It's going to be great. And then our calendar of upcoming events is all there too. This year has been a great collection of events, and I'm so excited to see what happens Monday afternoon. So once again, give a big thanks to all of our performers who gave us such pleasure today. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for supporting our show. We are touched.